The Knicks postgame show is presented by Tri-State Audi. Visit your Tri-State area Audi dealer today. Tonight in Houston, Knicks trail for the final 44 minutes of the game. Cat tonight, 17 points, 19 rebounds. But Alperen Şengün for the Rockets was excellent with 25 and 14, scoring 10 in the fourth quarter. And the Rockets tonight beat the Knicks 109-97. Great to have you with us from our Delta MSG studios. Bill Pidto along with Alan Hahn. So the Knicks trail for just about the entire game we're watching. I really thought they would come through in crunch time, but as it was, the Rockets outscored the Knicks 9-0 to finish the game, and the Knicks got within one with about 5 minutes to go, but they could never take the lead.
Yeah, and they fought and fought and fought, and fight is definitely the word of the night when it comes to this game. This was, at points you would think, like, it's too early in the season for this, but the Rockets were bringing it. Ime Udoka had his team inspired for this game, warning them about this loaded Knicks team coming in, just smoked Detroit, just beat up on Miami in the second half, letting them know after they lost an overtime game, they were down by as many as 28 points to the Golden State Warriors. He benched Şengün. Şengün showed up in this game. So this was a lot of motivation on the side of the home team. And for the Knicks, they were in for a fight early, and they saw it. And they turned it over early, took care of that. They got out-rebounded early, fixed that in the second half. What they couldn't figure out is how to score in the paint. They had a lot of chances in the paint. They could not finish. They took 19 shots in the paint. I'm sorry. They took 50 shots in the paint. They only made 19 of them. The biggest difference in the game was right there. Outscored in the paint, outscored off the bench. In a battle of a game on the road that the Knicks fought all the way to the end, just did not have enough. And one last thing is the minutes that the starters are playing now. You could see in a physical game like this, the effects in the final minutes. Jalen Brunson missing a bunch of shots late. He played over 40 minutes in this game, the entire second half. Early in the season, asking somebody to play an entire second half, it's tough. And so when the legs aren't there, shots not going down, and the loss for the Knicks in the column.
Campaign didn't play because of a bad hammy. Maybe he could have spelled Brunson a little bit. You mentioned points in the paint. Houston 62, Knicks 38.
Big difference.
And the Rockets outboarded the Knicks 50-39. Let's take a look at the fourth quarter. Again, the Knicks got close, but just could never get over the hump.
Yeah, they had this thing cut to 1 with 5:28 to go, and you started feeling pretty good about it because, again, the rebounding battle was something all night long, and Şengün really got it going when it comes to that. But I felt like the Knicks just kept fighting, and trying to find ways to get quick baskets, and there's certainly one from Karl Anthony Towns. Speaking of rebounds, he had 19 of them in this game. And Jalen Brunson did all he could with all the physicality that they were playing against him in this game. I mean, real physical game, and he kept attacking. They had no answer for Şengün. He was literally just making layups at some point. A beautiful hockey assist there for Josh Hart and the three-pointer, and it was a three-point game right there at that moment. But here you go. There's the fake, and Thompson, a beautiful fake, and the dunk, and that seemed to open things up, 102-97. And here's the dagger from Green, knocks down that three under a minute to go, 105-97 at that point. But they were making the plays later. They were making the plays earlier. But I'll just say this again, like the Knicks showed a lot of toughness in this game because it was physical. They were getting away with the officiating was letting them play physical. And there was a point in that game, the Knicks went down by 13, and at one point down by 15, where a lot of teams on the road, middle of a long road trip, physical night, forget it, not our night, might let go of the rope. The Knicks seemed like they were kind of ticked off. And they were like, okay, we're going to play like this, we're taking this game from you. And they tried. I saw a team battle to the end. Mistakes were made, yes. Shots were missed that were makeable shots, yes. But the team battled to the end. It showed a toughness that was very familiar to last year's team.
Okay, Alan, let us now bring in Monica McNutt. She helped call the game on the radio, ESPN New York. Monica, what'd you think?
I don't want to oversimplify because I agree with Hahn. This was a physical basketball game. At some points, I wonder if not for fines, there would be a conversation about the balance or lack thereof of officiating. But 30 bench points to 3 bench points, to me, in a game with this level of physicality and pace. When the Knicks made it a one-point game, I believe you mentioned it, Hahn, with the 5:15 or I think it was 4:15 mark in that fourth quarter.
5:28.
And then they give up, they give up an 11-5 run. that to me speaks to the fatigue and the wear and tear of this particular ball game. So unfortunate. Obviously, you were already without Precious Achiuwa. The absence of campaign, I think you feel that tonight. And then, frankly, in terms of looking to your bench for someone that can give you a spark, it has been Deuce McBride. And he finishes this night over. So that is uncharacteristic from him. So this is a tough loss.
Yeah, you could see that right away, especially some of those late shots by Brunson. Normally, once he makes clutch situations, falling short, and that's all I was thinking of those two shots, the three that he missed short, and also the drive that just missed as well. And I said, okay, the legs can't be there. 42 minutes for him, 40 for Bridges, 40 for Anunoby, 38 for Josh Hart. It does speak to something that the Knicks are going to have to address, and they're trying to right now, which is the depth of this team. And then not getting any production out of McBride, a big part of it. But Monica, how about the beginning of this game and the way the Rockets came out? It was almost similar to the way the Knicks came out against the Pistons, where right from the tip, Houston made it clear this is going to be a brawl, and the officials made it clear we're going to let it play out that way. What was that like to see live?
So I think as this thing unfolds, you think of the highlight plays from some of the young guys, the Jalen Green emphatic dunks, the Amen Thompson pump fake and dunk, the Alperen Sengun double-double. But really, to me, it was Fred VanVleet that set the tone of this ball game as things started. He was willing to get into the paint. He was, frankly, willing to remind you that while he's not necessarily Jalen Brunson, he is a champion in this league, and he's able to use his strength and his size to find his way. He has not been having a terrific start to this season, but in this matchup, I thought he was the person that set the tone early, and the rest of the Rockets follow suit. Yeah,
again, this was a gut check game for this Rockets team early on, especially after what happened to them in Golden State. We talked about in the pregame, Monica, the matchup of Sengun, who had not been playing well, who got benched against Karl Anthony Towns. Two guys that got after it on the boards, no question about it. But it felt like Sengun really did control the game, especially late. They had no one that could guard him.
I turned to Tyler at one point, Hahn and Pidto, and I go, this is a reminder that how many of our last MVPs have been international players? Like, there is a pace that Sengun plays with that is Jokic-esque. I'm not going to call him Nikola Jokic. I'm not going that far. But it is Jokic-esque in terms of, there was a play, I think, in the third quarter where he picks the basketball up on a scrum, a frenetic play. The Knicks are trying to get the basketball, trying to come up with a steal, and it's a cool, casual hook shot in a basket for the Rockets. And so I think the poise that he has at such a young age, I totally get why this organization is excited about the Jalen Greens, the Jabari Smiths, and the Alperen Sengun as a core that you hopefully can grow with and move forward.
All right, Monica, they surely were impressive tonight. Thanks. We'll talk to you Wednesday night from Atlanta.
Sounds good.
When we come back, we have the post-game comments from Knicks coach Tom Thibodeau. The Knicks now 3-3 on the year. The Knicks wrap up their 4-game road trip in Atlanta on Wednesday. Pre-game here at 7 and the game at 7:30. Knicks go down tonight in Houston, 109-97. We talked about the rebounding. We talked about points in the paint. Allen mentioned the bench scoring. The Knicks were only 3 points off the bench. In the last 5 seasons, only 6 times has any NBA team had 3 or fewer bench points. One time tonight with the Knicks scoring only 3 off the bench, and it happened only once all of last season. Tom Thibodeau's post-game comments now, presented by Chase.
Yeah, at times I thought we had to adjust the way the game, was going.
It felt like early on, I don't know if you guys were playing sped up, but kind of poor shot selection, it felt like, and they were able to kind of get out in transition. Did you like the shots you guys were getting when they took
it? Yeah, it's hard to say. I'll go back through the film and take a look at it. I know we missed a lot of bunnies,
Just as I think some of the shots you like, I think you guys shot 37% inside of it, or just felt like just one of those nights where
Yeah, well, the thing is, when you're not shooting well, you want to be able to count on your defense and your rebound. And I like that we fought back. I thought the third quarter our defense was really good, and then I thought the big play was when Josh's foul on that looked like a clean steal to me. So sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it doesn't.
In your opinion, what did you see in those last 2 minutes when you were down 3?
Yeah, it was a big play with Josh. I thought Josh beat him to the ball. I thought there was, just didn't go our way, I guess. And I thought there was a lot of physicality with Cat. He got, I think, 4 free throws. But I thought he adjusted well in the third quarter. He started going to the offensive board pretty hard. And I thought that was, that got us going.
I know sure you're not worried about it, but just 3 bench points for Kolek, 3, the Deuce struggle. I know that's not an issue for, but is it important to at least get some stability?
Yeah, and I thought Tyler did well in the first half, and Deuce didn't make shots, but he's a plus 10. So it's what you're doing when you're on the floor, and so. You got to find a way to win in the end. Nights in which you're not shooting well, you just do other things to try to help the team.
What did you think of their strategy, putting Dylan Brooks on Cat?
Yeah, we've seen that before. Cat can play in, he can play out, so that shouldn't, it's part of the league. With the amount of switching that you're seeing, you see stuff like that all the time.
It's physical as Brooks is with him to see him. Carl hit, 4 fouls in the first 25 minutes. Just kind of felt something.
Yeah, the whistle didn't go our way, and you got to play through that and get past it and just find a way to win in the end. Yeah, I mean, the thing is you adjust to how the game's being called. So it was a physical game, and then, initially it was pretty tight, and then once we adjusted, I thought it was the third quarter. I liked the way we played a lot, and even most of the fourth. And then we fell short in the end. And again, that was a great play that Josh made to get to the ball from where he did. And I haven't looked at the replay yet, but I will.
Just down the stretch, Jalen missed, I think, his final 3 shots, committed a turnover. You think, 42 minutes, you think tired legs might be?
Yeah, hey, look, he wanted to go. He's in great shape, so he's not going to make every shot. So just take your shots.
All right, thanks.
Yeah.
All right, so coach emphasizing Knicks down 3, final stage of the game, and Josh Hart got whistled for a foul.
Yeah, that was a very quick call there. It was 2:45 to go. The Knicks were down 3. They get a stop off of a miss. And it looked like an offensive rebound for Şengün, but Josh Hart got there real quick and took it out of his hands. They call a foul on the play. Now, on the ensuing possession, instead of the Knicks getting the ball, the Rockets get the ball back. They didn't score because Anunoby got the block. It's a great block he got for a shot clock violation. But I think what Tom Thibodeau is saying there is that we get the ball there, we have a chance to score. Now, the next possession the Knicks had, they did not score. So it was still a 3-point game, but I think the point he's trying to make there is we make a great play on the ball. We should have momentum going down the other way. Instead, we stop. We've got to get another stop defensively. Takes a little more out of your gas tank. But you heard him say that he liked the fight this team showed in the second half. He liked how they played defensively in the third quarter, only allowed 20 points. And he liked most of the fourth quarter. It was just down the stretch. Clearly, a team ran out of gas when 3 of your starters play 40 minutes and 1 plays 38. The Knicks know they've got to get more out of their bench. They're trying to work on that with the roster right now. But injury-wise, that has shortened the rotation right now.
There's no update, by the way, on when Precious Achiuwa might be ready to go.
Nothing new yet.
Tyler Kolek got some minutes. He was the only bench player that the Knicks had in the scoring column. He had 3, and we've talked about the fact that Deuce McBride tonight went 0 for 9. Jalen Brunson had 29 points, but again, 9 of 24, didn't shoot the ball real well.
No, but again, a lot of the misses were later on, and for him, again, he dealt with what he's going to deal with a lot here is a ton of physicality, and that's what everybody's going to throw at him. You're going to throw length at him. You're going to make sure you hit him and make contact. He's not going to get a lot of calls that he had gotten earlier last season and the previous season where he can draw fouls. Now when he looks for contact, and a lot of times the book on him in the league is he seeks contact. So if he does like something like that, you see how he kind of made contact first. They're not giving him that whistle anymore. Doesn't mean he's not getting beat up in a game like this. It felt like he did. Went to the line, 9 of 9 from the free throw line. So he was getting some calls, but again, you're going to throw length at him, physicality at him, and you're going to make him work. But the fact that he was able to put in 42 minutes, including 24 second half, the entire second half, says a lot. Now, he's got to get rest. They got one more road game in Atlanta. And, again, that's another team with some length and a guard, certainly, that is going to run around a lot in Trae Young.
We talked about the fact in the first half, the Knicks at one point were down by 15. One of the issues, Karl-Anthony Towns got in early foul trouble, picked up the third foul, and for the game, only played 32 minutes, but still went for 17 points and 19 rebounds.
He took it upon himself to rebound. When the Knicks were getting out-rebounded, you could tell at halftime that was a part of the conversation at halftime. And he said, okay, second half, I'm taking over. Now, there's a good chase-down block. It shows he doesn't give up on the play. You see he will drive to the basket. He is not a guy that just lives on the perimeter. He's not one of these three-point shooting big men that stay out there. He'll get inside. He took some contact as well. And that's another thing Tom Thibodeau pointed out. He only had 4 free throw attempts. 4. And for a guy that's inside, look at this right here. Like, those are fouls there, and he's not getting the whistle. But what you liked was that he said, okay, we need to get on the boards. I'm going to do that. Third quarter, he had 10 rebounds. Think about that. For a quarter, 10 rebounds. Like, he took it upon himself to say, I'm the big man. I got to get it done. I'm going to grab all the boards I can get. And I think Mike Breen said he was inhaling rebounds at one point in that third quarter. Whatever it takes to win. And I think that's what you saw from Karl Anthony Towns tonight.
Now, when you look at the Knicks shooting, we have talked about in the previous 2 games, the ball movement was so good and the shooting was so effective. But tonight, the Knicks only 38.6% shooting from the floor. A lot of that had to do with the athleticism of the Houston defense. And it really kept the Knicks in check tonight on the offensive end of the floor.
And you heard Tom Thibodeau say we missed a lot of bunnies. Right, and that's obviously little around the basket type shots, things that are just should be easy, just hop and put it in, and they were missing them. And I told you at the very beginning of this, the Knicks shooting in the paint in this game was 19 of 50. That's 38%. So when you're in the painted area, you think those are easy shots to make, and they are. They actually shot better from three-point range than they did in the painted area, and that doesn't make any sense because you're closer to the basket. But it does also tell you the swarming, aggressive defense that Houston was playing, the physicality they were playing with, and the Knicks didn't have anything easy in the paint. Some nights you got to tip your cap to an aggressive opponent and the defense that they played and just say, you know what, they got us, because those were makeable shots that the Knicks missed tonight.
Rockets, by the way, from 3, only 8 of 33. If they had shot better from long range, it may have been a blowout tonight. Welcome back, everyone. The Knicks wrap up their 4-game road trip in Atlanta on Wednesday night. Pregame at 7, game at 7:30. Knicks lose tonight in Houston, 109-97. Here's Josh Hart after the game on the physical play, especially early in the game.
I have to deal with, our cuts, our shooting, and those kind of things, and then capitalize on the mismatch. So, and the mistakes. So, we got to learn from it. It's not going to get easier. It's game 6, so we just got to learn from it.
Tibbs talked about the play, loose ball that you look like you might have beaten Sengun to and got called for a foul as being a key there. Do you think you got that clean?
I thought I got it clean. I haven't seen the replay of it, but at the end of the day, refs are going to make mistakes. I agree with a lot of the calls they had. There was some that that they missed that. Like I said, we let that dictate, our energy level. So, we got to give them credit. The coach, obviously, he's, been in winning situations. He always has a tough, physical, hard-playing team, and that's what they did.
Back now from the corner 3, presented by Michelob Ultra Superior Light Beer. Interesting that Hart's talking about the way that the game was called may have impacted the Knicks' energy level.
At least at the beginning, it can affect you, and you have to adjust, which is exactly what they did. And then he credits Ime Udoka and how he had his team ready to play and the physicality that was there. And that's night to night in the NBA. You run into sometimes a team that has a little extra motivation and is ready to ambush you, and that's exactly what the Rockets did on this night. And the Knicks still stayed in the fight, and tried to steal it anyway, and were not able to get it to the finish line.
Alperen Sengun, really impressive for the Rockets. 25 points, 14 rebounds. How about the fact that he also had 4 blocks and 5 assists?
Huge impact.
Really filled up the box score as the Rockets beat the Knicks tonight by 12.